All right, so we're diving into this guide all about YouTube and TikTok monetization. I'm actually pretty excited about this one, especially this idea of like screwing early wins, but also building something that can, last.
Yeah, it's funny. Most guys just sort of jump right into like the tactics. But this one, what's interesting here is it really starts with the fundamentals. Like how do creators actually get paid? It's like learning the rules of the game before you even start playing.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm guessing it covers like all the basics, like CPM and how YouTube's 55-45 split works.
Exactly. And it reminds us, but a $7 CPM on a video with, say, like 100,000 views, that translates to roughly $385 for the creator. Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
But what I found even more insightful, I think, was the discussion around CPC, cost per click.
Oh, CPC. I thought CPC wasn't really the main way YouTubers got paid, though.
True, but it still plays a huge role kind of behind the scenes. The niche you choose actually directly impacts what kinds of ads YouTube shows on your videos. So think about it. A click on a finance-related ad could be worth dollars, versus a click on like a funny cat video ad might only be a couple cents. So even though you aren't directly paid per click on YouTube, that CPC of your niche influences your overall CPM.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, that makes you realize that like niche selection, it's not just about passion, it's a business decision too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this guy does a fantastic job, I think, highlighting the different paces of YouTube and TikTok. When it comes to monetization, YouTube it's a marathon, not a sprint. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the past 12 months, or 10 million shorts views in 90 days. That's a long game.
Oh yeah, no kidding. It makes those TikTok creator fund requirements like 10,000 followers, 100,000 views in 30 days. It almost seems like a walk in the park compared to that. But I guess the trade-off there is that super low payout per view, right?
Right. You're looking at, like $0 or 1, 2 to 0 is a year, 4 cents per 1,000 views on TikTok,
Yeah.
which is a tiny fraction of what you could potentially earn on YouTube. What's fascinating here is how this difference really shapes creator strategies. Like some folks use TikTok as that launching pad to kind of build that audience quickly, and then they focus on YouTube for the bigger payouts later down the line.
Oh, that's smart. So what does this guide suggest for actually getting the ball rolling with monetization? I'm all about taking action.
Well, it outlines 8 steps, and what's great is they're not just like random tips. They're presented as like this clear roadmap.
Okay, I like it. All right, lay it on me. What's step one?
Niche selection. You got to find that sweet spot, something that you're passionate about, something that has a decent audience, but also something that, crucially, appeals to those higher-paying advertisers. It dives deep into the importance of considering content value right from the start.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just about picking something you love, it's about understanding how that translates into, actual earnings. Okay, what about step 2?
Step 2 focuses on researching trends and demand, within your niche, of course. The guide suggests a bunch of tools and techniques for figuring out what people are actually searching for on YouTube, what's going viral on TikTok.
Yeah, I can see how that would be crucial. There's no point creating amazing content if no one's actually searching for it.
Exactly. Then comes step 3, producing quality content. But before you get overwhelmed, the guide emphasizes starting with what you have. A modern smartphone could be enough to get going. It's about providing value to your audience, whether that's entertainment, education, or a clever mix of both.
Okay, that's reassuring. I was picturing, needing a fancy studio setup right from the start. So assuming we've got our niche, we've done our research, and we're creating great content, what's next?
Step 4 is all about understanding upload frequency and timing. It suggests aiming for at least 1 video per week on YouTube, while on TikTok you could post as often as 1 to 4 times per day.
Whoa, that's a huge difference. Why such a disparity?
Well, it's partly due to the algorithms. TikTok's algorithm loves consistency and fresh content, so the frequent posting can really help you get discovered. Plus, TikTok videos are generally much shorter, so it's easier to create, multiple pieces of content per day. YouTube, on the other hand, favors those longer videos with higher watch time. It's more about quality over quantity.
Right, that makes sense. So it's not just about how much you post, it's about tailoring your strategy to each platform's, unique algorithm. All right, what about step 5?
Step 5 dives into SEO and algorithm optimization. On YouTube, this means using relevant keywords in your titles, descriptions, and tags, creating eye-catching thumbnails, that sort of thing. On TikTok, it's about focusing on high completion rates and rewatches.
So on YouTube, we're playing the long game with SEO, while on TikTok, it's about grabbing attention instantly and keeping viewers hooked.
Exactly. Step 6 emphasizes community building, engaging with your audience, responding to comments. Fostering that sense of connection, especially in those early stages, is crucial.
I've heard that collaborations are huge on TikTok. Does the guide touch on that at all?
It does. It suggests leveraging features like duets and stitches, collaborating with other creators, even tapping into your personal network to spread the word. Every view, every subscriber, every follower brings you closer to those monetization goals.
I love it. Okay, so we're creating great content, we're optimizing for the algorithm, and we're building a community. What's next?
Step 7 is all about setting those monetization goals and actually making them a reality. Whether it's hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or reaching 100,000 views in a month on TikTok, the guide encourages you to keep your eye on the prize and actually apply for monetization as soon as you're eligible.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. It's easy to get, caught up in the day-to-day and forget about the bigger picture. Okay, so we're almost there. What's the final step?
Step 8 encourages celebrating those small wins and actually analyzing your progress. It's about looking at the data, seeing what's working, what's not, and then tweaking your approach based on those insights. It's a continuous cycle of learning and improvement.
I love that. So it's not just about hitting those monetization milestones. It's about building a sustainable process for long-term growth. This is great stuff. But I am curious to dive a little deeper into this whole idea of content value. It seems like some types of videos are just naturally more, I don't know, lucrative than others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where things get really interesting. Not all views are created equal. And understanding why can make or break your monetization journey. It's fascinating how there's this whole spectrum of content value when it comes to monetization. Some videos just naturally attract those high-paying ads, while others, even with millions of views, might struggle to, bring in the big bucks.
Okay, I'm all ears. What kind of content sits at the top of that value pyramid? Like, what should creators be aiming for?
Well, the guide highlights a few key categories: educational content, advisory content, anything that helps viewers like solve problems or make decisions, especially in niches like finance, tech, or career development. Those tend to attract the big budget advertisers.
Yeah, that makes total sense. People searching for solutions are often ready to spend money, which makes them, super valuable to advertisers.
Right. And product reviews, especially in the tech world, are another goldmine. Viewers are actively researching, they often have their wallets open, ready to buy. The guide actually points out that this niche offers a double whammy: AdSense revenue and the potential to incorporate affiliate links.
Wow. Talk about maximizing your earnings. So content that helps people make purchasing decisions is key. What about video links? Does that factor into the equation at all?
Absolutely. Longer videos with high watch time are generally more valuable. Not only do they allow for more ad placements, but they also signal to YouTube that your content is engaging. Think about it. A 15-minute video that people watch all the way through can be more profitable than a 5-minute video, even if the shorter one gets more views.
That's a great point. Quality over quantity, right? But what about niche content? I've heard that can be pretty lucrative too, even if the audience is smaller.
Absolutely. Even if a channel has like a relatively small audience, if it's hyper-focused on a specific niche with engaged viewers, it can still command premium CPMs. For instance, a channel dedicated to reviewing like high-end coffee machines might not have millions of subscribers, but the viewers they do have are highly likely to be interested in buying those products, and that focused audience makes them extremely valuable to advertisers in that niche.
So even if your channel isn't massive, a highly engaged niche audience can be a real asset. Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects. Now let's flip the script. What types of content tend to fall on the, I don't know, lower end of that value spectrum? What should creators be wary of?
One common pitfall is general entertainment without a clear niche. Think viral challenges, prank videos, or vlogs without a strong theme. While this content can go viral and rack up views, it often struggles to attract those high-paying advertisers.
Like a viral video with millions of views might not actually be as profitable as like a niche tutorial with a fraction of those views.
Exactly. The audience is just too broad, and viewers aren't necessarily in a buying mood. And speaking of short-form content, while shorts and reels are fantastic for audience growth, they're not the, money makers you might think.
I had a feeling that was the case. Why is that?
Well, YouTube Shorts earn significantly less per view compared to traditional long-form videos. And TikTok, despite its viral potential, also offers very low per-view payouts. It's that classic trade-off: huge reach, low earning potential.
So it seems like those short-form videos are best used as like a tool to drive audience growth and engagement, rather than a primary source of income. Okay, but what about content that violates YouTube's monetization policies? Does the guide address that at all?
It does. It emphasizes that content violating those policies, whether due to sensitive topics, inappropriate language, or even being deemed made for kids, can be severely limited in terms of monetization.
Yeah, that makes sense. Advertisers are understandably cautious about associating their brands with, controversial content. So a channel that's constantly pushing boundaries, even if it's popular, might not see the ad revenue they're hoping for. Is there anything else creators should be aware of?
Yeah, broad, unfocused channels where you kind of jump from topic to topic without a clear theme can struggle to attract those, targeted, high-paying ads. It's like trying to appeal to everyone and ending up appealing to no one.
Right, so if my channel's all over the place, a bit of gaming, some travel vlogs, a random cooking video thrown in, I'm probably not going to see the same CPMs as someone who's laser focused on, say, personal finance.
You got it. The guide's advice here is to find that balance. Entertain your audience, showcase your personality, but package it within a framework that also appeals to advertisers.
So it's not about sacrificing your creativity. It's about being strategic and understanding how to present your content in a way that maximizes your earning potential. This is really helpful advice. Now I'm dying to get into the nitty-gritty of like specific niches. Which ones are the most profitable? Which ones might be a bit of a struggle?
All right, buckle up. The guide breaks down some fascinating categories. At the top of the list, we have finance and insurance. These niches are known for attracting some of the highest ad rates out there.
No way. I've always wondered about that. Why are those niches so lucrative?
Well, think about it. People searching for information about mortgages, insurance policies, investments, they're often in a position to spend serious money. And advertisers are willing to pay a premium to reach them. The guide even mentions that the average cost per click for insurance ads could be around $20. And for certain keywords, it can go even higher.
Wow. So if you're comfortable talking about money and breaking down, complex financial concepts in an engaging way, this could be a really rewarding path. What other high-earning niches does the guide mention?
Real estate career development and online education are also strong contenders. These niches tend to attract an older, higher-earning demographic, which again is incredibly attractive in advertisers. Someone watching a video about investment properties or preparing for a job interview is likely to have disposable income and a willingness to spend.
And education content often has that evergreen quality. Those videos can continue to generate views and revenue for, years to come.
Exactly. Another standout niche is technology and online services, especially channels that focus on product reviews, software tutorials, web hosting comparisons, anything where viewers are likely to be in that, buying mindset. Think about those best smartphone of 2025 videos or tutorials on how to build a website. Advertisers are clamoring to reach those audiences.
Yeah, the guy drops like a mind-blowing stat here. Apparently, keywords related to web hosting like Bluehost blog can have CPCs exceeding $300. It's crazy to think about.
It really is. It just shows the incredible earning potential in this niche. And for creators, it's often a double win. You've got the AdSense revenue plus the potential to layer in affiliate marketing by promoting those products and services directly to your audience.
Smart. Okay, so we've got a good sense of the high rollers, but as you mentioned earlier, there are some niches that can be a tougher climb. Let's talk about those. What are we looking at?
One category that often struggles, despite its popularity, is general entertainment and comedy.
Yeah, we touched on this earlier. Even with millions of views, those channels often have really low CPMs because the audience is so broad and not necessarily looking to buy anything specific.
Right. And while you can certainly find success and build a massive following in these niches, you might need to get creative with your monetization strategy. Think merchandise, brand deals, or even fan funding platforms. AdSense alone might not be enough to make it a, sustainable income.
Got it. So if your heart is set on creating those hilarious skits or epic prank videos, just be aware that you might need to explore, alternative revenue streams.
What about gaming? That's a massive category on YouTube, but does it translate into big earnings?
It's a mixed bag. While gaming is a huge market, the average CPMs tend to be, moderate, not as high as some of those other top earners we discussed. Part of it is due to the demographics of the audience. Many gamers are younger and might not have the same purchasing power as, say, someone actively investing in real estate.
So it's not that you can't make money with gaming content, it's just that you might need a massive view count to see those, significant earnings.
That's right. However, there are sub-niches within gaming that can perform better. Channels that focus on hardware reviews or educational gaming content often see higher CPMs because they're tapping into that solution-seeking mindset.
Interesting. So it's all about finding those pockets of value within a broader niche. What other potentially challenging niches does the guide mention? One that stands out, and is a bit of a sensitive topic, is content aimed at children. YouTube has very strict policies in place for made-for-kids content, often limiting or even completely disabling personalized advertising.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's due to regulations like COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Advertisers have to be extra careful about data collection and targeting when it comes to children. But how does that impact, a creator's earnings?
Well, a channel with like toy unboxings or kid-friendly songs might be millions of views, but the ad revenue might be surprisingly low because of those advertising restrictions. Many successful YouTubers in the kids space have diversified their income streams with merchandise, brand deals, or even fan funding to kind of make up for the limitations of AdSense.
So that's definitely a niche where understanding the platform's policies and exploring those alternative monetization methods is crucial. Okay, are there any other categories creators should be aware of?
Yeah, the guide also touches on ultra-niche hobbies or interests. That might lack significant advertiser interest. Think of the channel dedicated to, like, a very specific type of antique collecting, or the history of a small remote town. While these channels can have passionate audiences, there might simply not be enough advertisers bidding on those keywords to generate substantial ad revenue.
So even if your content is amazing and you have a dedicated audience, the lack of advertiser demand in a super niche area can make monetization a real uphill battle.
Exactly. It all boils down to supply and demand. But the guide wraps up this section with a really helpful tip. Do an overlap analysis. Consider your passions and expertise. Then look at those high-paying niches we discussed. Is there a way to combine your interests with a commercially viable topic?
Now that's smart. So if I'm passionate about both gaming and finance, maybe I could create a channel that explores the financial side of gaming, like analyzing in-game economies or teaching personal finance through game simulations.
That's a great example. Or if you love comedy but want to tap into a more lucrative niche, maybe you could create comedic content about the business world, satirizing office life, or poking fun at marketing trends.
I love that. It's about finding that sweet spot where your creativity, your knowledge, and the market's demand intersect. But as the guide reminds us, don't chase money at the expense of passion. If you're not genuinely interested in the topic, it'll show, and your audience will pick up on it.
Authenticity is key. Now, are you ready to kind of shift gears and explore some strategies for building sustainable monetization? Let's move beyond those quick wins and talk about creating something that lasts.
Absolutely. We've laid the groundwork. We understand how monetization works. We've identified potential pitfalls, and we've explored some, lucrative niches. Now let's talk about taking it to the next level.
All right, let's shift our focus from short-term tactics to long-term vision. The guide outlines 5 key strategies for building a channel that can generate consistent, sustainable income. And the first one might surprise you. It all starts with quality and brand building.
Okay, so we're not just talking about getting better at making videos. We're talking about like crafting a recognizable brand, something that sets you apart in a sea of content, right?
Exactly. As your channel grows, you'll want to elevate your production quality, develop a consistent visual style, maybe even incorporate recurring elements or running gags that become part of your, channel's identity.
So think consistent intro and outro, maybe investing in better equipment, creating thumbnails with a cohesive look, things like that.
Exactly. And what's interesting here is the guide emphasizes that. A strong brand not only attracts viewers, but it also makes you more attractive to those higher-paying advertisers. They want to align themselves with creators who have a, professional established presence.
It's like building trust, not just with your audience, but with potential sponsors too. People are more likely to subscribe and become, loyal fans when they feel like they know what your channel is all about.
Right. Now, the second strategy for sustainable growth is all about expanding your content portfolio.
So branching out, trying new formats, keeping things fresh. I like it.
Yeah, the guide suggests experimenting with different content types. On YouTube, this could mean incorporating shorts alongside your longer videos, experimenting with live streams, or even creating, multi-part series.
Yeah, it keeps things interesting for you and the audience. But I guess there's a balance, right? You don't want to sacrifice quality just to pump out more content.
Absolutely. And on TikTok, you could explore creating longer form content now that they offer videos up to 10 minutes in length. It's a great way to diversify your offerings and potentially tap into new monetization features as the platform evolves.
Strategize, but stay flexible. That makes sense. All right, what's the third strategy?
This one's all about analyzing data and listening to your audience. As your channel grows, your analytics become a goldmine of information. The guide encourages you to really dig into those numbers. What's working, what's not, which videos are getting the highest CPMs.
Right. So, for example, if I notice my videos about insurance consistently outperform my videos about, say, credit cards, that might be a sign to shift my focus.
Exactly. But it's not just about crunching numbers. It's all about actively listening to your audience. Pay attention to the comments, engage in conversations, and really understand what your viewers want to see more of.
It's about building that relationships, treating them like a community, rather than just a bunch of stats. Okay, I get it. What's the fourth strategy?
This one might surprise you. The guide encourages creators to explore new monetization avenues beyond just AdSense.
Whoa, so we're talking about more than just those pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll ads. What other options are there?
Well, affiliate marketing is huge, especially in niches like tech or product reviews. You include special links in your video descriptions, and if viewers make a purchase through your link, you earn a commission.
Oh, it's like getting a little bonus for recommending products you already love. I've heard of that, but I never really knew how it worked.
It's pretty straightforward, and it can be very lucrative as you grow and build that loyal following. You might also start attracting sponsorships. Brands will pay you directly to feature their products or services in your videos.
So you're getting paid to collaborate with brands you believe in. That's awesome. What else does the guide mention?
Creating your own merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, anything with your logo or catchphrases. And if you've got a super dedicated fan base, you could consider crowdfunding through platforms like Patreon.
Diversifying your income stream so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Smart move. Okay, so what's the final strategy for sustainable growth?
Scaling your efforts. As your channel expands, you might find yourself, overwhelmed trying to handle everything yourself. The guide suggests considering outsourcing certain tasks.
Like hiring a video editor, a graphic designer, someone to help manage social media, that sort of thing.
You got it. Freeing yourself from those tasks allows you to focus on what you do best, creating amazing content.
And it's an investment that can fuel even more growth. More content, wider audience, more revenue, it all comes full circle. This guide is seriously insightful. I've learned a ton today. What are the biggest takeaways you think our listeners should walk away with?
I'd say it boils down to a few key things. Choose your niche wisely. Find that sweet spot where your passions, your skills, and the market's demand intersect. Understand that content value is key. Create content that solves problems, provides valuable information, or caters to viewers who are ready to buy. And finally, play the long game. Build a recognizable brand, cultivate a loyal community, and explore diverse revenue streams.
That's great advice. It's not just about chasing those dollar signs, it's about building something meaningful, connecting with an audience, and sharing your passion with the world.
Exactly. Success takes time, effort, and a willingness to adapt. But focus on providing value to your audience, delivering high-quality content consistently, and the monetization will follow.
That's a perfect note to end on. Keep creating, keep learning, and keep experimenting. The world of online content creation is constantly evolving, and there's always something new to discover. That's it for this deep dive. Be sure to tune in next week for another fascinating topic. Until then, keep those creative juices flowing. APO.